Welcome back to the session 2 of JA Career Success. In today's activity, you are going to once again need the student table tents, the conflict management sheets, and the Career Success Toolbox envelopes. Today's activity is all about communication and conflict management. The introduction is well outlined in the book to help guide your introductory conversation and to get the students to think about some of the conflicts that they have even as high school students. In the guidebook, it does suggest that you have the students close their eyes to consider a situation regarding two teachers. One in school and one in an out of school situation. Instead of having the students actually close their eyes to imagine that, I would just open up the conversation to get them to brainstorm what those two situations might look like. Really encourage them to think about how would their communication look differently, how would their body language look, etc. The first part of the lesson is to have the students each get a conflict management fact sheet and to go through these tips with the students reading them. So I'd have a student read them and then I would talk about it. I would bring in some personal life examples, have the students bring some out, but personalize them as you talk through the 6 tips. The main part of the activity is going to be to have the students consider good conflict management skills and poor conflict management skills. They are going to do this in a role play activity. You'll notice in the guidebook, there is an activity in which the students are going to role play different scenarios, and you're going to have 2 different students play good communication skills and 2 students play poor communication skills. So you're going to have a total of 4 students come to the front. 2 of them are going to work together to model good skills and 2 are going to model poor skills in communication. So the first thing you're going to do is identify your 4 students. We encourage you to ask for student volunteers so they feel comfortable role-playing with one another, but you might have to have the teacher help you identify students if they don't volunteer. What you're going to do is you're going to give them a situation in which they are going to act out. So you want to give them a few minutes to prepare what their dialogue might look like. In the meantime, the rest of the class is going to play the writers of the script. So they are going to suggest how the students that are role-playing should be presenting the material. They can use the poor conflict management skills and the good conflict management skills on the inside of their profile to help them with some of these verbiages. So what you want to do is have the students look at these, kind of get their head into what would be good, what's poor, how we can dramatize the difference. So once you identify your 4 students, have them come to the front of the room, have them look at their scenario, and then ask the classroom to identify what are some of the specific elements that you want them to depict in their role play. So they're going to help write the script. The 2 students that have the poor communication skills, you want to go first. So they're going to model what the situation might look like if you had poor communication skills. Then you're going to talk a little bit about that as a whole class. Then you can have the students with good communication skills come up and show what it would look like if you had good communication or conflict management skills. After the 2 role plays are completed, you can have the students talk about the differences, talk about other elements that you might be able to add or subtract. Also, in the book, it does say that you, as the volunteer, or you can even ask the classroom teacher to play the role of director throughout the role plays. So if you need to, you can call cut and have the students talk about what are some other elements that need to be added, what needs to be more dramatized, what are the elements that the students that are in the audience want to see more of. That way you keep everybody participating and engaged throughout the activity. Depending upon time, you might be able to get through 2 or 3 of the scenarios listed in the book, and then what you want to make sure to do at the end is have time to wrap up the conversation regarding conflict management. So take some time to debrief and then once again wrap up by having the students fill out their career success toolbox. This is where they're going to write one attribute from the good conflict management profile that they can practice this week. So we want them to see that the things they're learning in junior achievement is not just for their future career, their job setting, but these are things that they can do even today as high schoolers. They can be working on these steps each and every day, and that will lead to an intrinsic, smooth transition to the future workforce. Enjoy session 2.